Fight Live returns to Channel 5 this Friday. Two of Britain's most exciting super lightweights collide at London's legendary York Hall. Don't miss Eubank vs Farrell this Friday on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you that might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.
Razabani IFL TV proudly sponsored by Everlast London. Here, official press conference for Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith with me. Liam Smith's brother, who's still a fighter himself, former world champion Callum Smith. Callum, how are we doing?
Yeah, good, not bad. With yourself, good?
I'm good, mate. I'm just saying to you as we were walking towards the camera, it feels like it's your media day.
Yeah, I've done a few interviews to be fair, but it's all good. Obviously, we're here for Liam. It's a big fight.
I spoke to Liam and I said, Liam, you've almost done. You've gone from Matchroom. You've done Frank. You've come to Ben, and it's almost a different version of you. And I spoke to Ben Shalom as well. Ben's like, I think he's peaking. I think he's in his peak right now. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah, I don't know about peak, but he's in very, very good form, and I think he's been kept active since the fight in Russia, the Kurbanov fight. He's been active, and as a fighter myself, that's all we want. I think we're at your best when you're in the gym, you fight, you have a little break, and then you're right back in the gym, and you're always learning rather than having long layoffs, which I've had myself. Coming back from a long layoff, it's like you can't rebuilding, starting again. And Liam's been kept active, and he's enjoying the boxing again. He's enjoying being in the gym, and I think we're seeing that in performances. On a very good run of form, good run of wins, and he bounces into this fight and say, full of confidence that he's good enough to get the job done.
When Chris Eubank Chris Eubank Jr. says stuff like, "I need to be less than 60% to beat you," is that just Chris Eubank just being? Is that antics? Is that mind games? Is that accurate?
Yeah, no, I think he's done exactly what it is. Every interview we've done today, people have mentioned the 50% thing, and that's exactly why he does it. It gets people talking about it. People leave here today speaking about the 50%, and I was seeing with the Ben fight, he was selling t-shirts with 60% on it. It gets people talking, but look, he's an experienced fighter. He knows he needs to be near his best to get a win. When you're fighting at the highest level and less than you're near your best, you get punished for your mistakes and you come unstuck. And he's not good enough to win at this level at 50%. If he was, he'd beat George Groves, he'd beat Billy Joe Saunders, but he didn't. He come up short. So he's experienced enough. He knows he'll be putting the work in behind the scenes. I think all that stuff's just for the sound bites and to get people talking.
Has he improved? Has he significantly improved under Roy Jones Jr.?
I don't know, because I think his level of opposition's dropped, so I think it's hard to see real improvements. Since he lost to Groves, he's come down a level, and I don't think we've seen him go back up and to anywhere near the level Liam's at. So it's hard to say. Not being with a new coach myself, I do believe I've improved. So he will have shown certain adjustments and certain improvements in the gym. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't still be using him. He obviously likes the setup he's got and feel he's improving, but from what we've seen of him, I still believe Liam's good enough to beat him, and Liam's doing everything he can in camp to make sure the best version of him turns up, and I believe if that's the case, he's good enough to win.
What kind of fight do you think he'll turn out to be? We had Eubank Jr. do something different against Liam Williams, where he almost just box. We've seen Liam Smith himself, where he's boxed, where he's got in range and in the pocket, where he's brawled. What do you expect to see?
Yeah, I think just with as you touched on then, under Roy Jones Jr., he's trying to box a little bit more. Eubank can trying to box a little bit like Roy Jones, which, look, he's never going to be Roy Jones, but he is boxing a little bit more than the Eubank we've been used to seeing over the years. But I think he starts the fight that way, but I think it catches fire, and I think he reverts the type and goes back to the old Eubank we all well know, and I think it'll be a good fight to watch, but a fight I believe Liam wins.
You dropped him in sparring?
No, I've never sparred him. No, when he come up, he sparred Paul and sparred Liam. I just had a hand operation. I had my hand in a cast, so I'd never sparred him. Obviously, I thought I may have fought him in the World Box Super Series. He obviously lost to Groves in the semis, but no, I've never sparred him. I seen Liam and my brother spar him, and look, they were good spars. I'm not a fan of sparring stories and stuff. It is what it is, but although you can't take a lot from sparring, you can take something. And Liam obviously liked how the spars went. Since that day, he's always believed he's had the beating of him. Obviously, the paths went different ways. He was fighting at 168, Liam 164, but they're both at middleweight now, and again, Liam's fully confident. He's the man for the job, and he can get it done.
I said to Liam, his fight in September wasn't the ideal opponent, but is this what it's about? Is this what gets you up when all these media camera comes out, you're fighting a good level fighter, you potentially could be an eliminator for the WBC belt and also pay-per-view.
Yeah, look, this is what you're in boxing for. You don't turn professional to be in your 4 rounders at 6 o'clock on undercards. We've all got to do it. You've all got to pay your dues, but the goal is to end up here. You want to be in the biggest fights possible. You want the fights that everyone talks about, a pay-per-view fight, all the press, the media, that gives you that buzz. And no big domestic fight, a fight where the fear of losing is greater than usual, and it gets you out of bed, it gets you through those tough sessions, and a little bit of needle and make training a little bit easier, knowing what's at the end of it. So yeah, look, Liam's buzzing as a fighter. He's, like I say, he's in very good form, and he rolls into this fight, fully confident that he's good enough to do it. And I fully believe he beats Chris Eubank, and I believe it's picked as a 50-50 fight, but I believe Liam's a better fighter stylistically, technically. I just think we just need to see the best version of Liam.
Well, we look forward to it January 21st. Callum, before I let you go, quick one. Former opponent John Ryder on Saturday, obviously in different circumstances, got the win. He could get Canelo next. Canelo could come to the UK. You've been in the ring with John. He gave you a very, very tough fight. People, most respectful, some people had him winning the fight as well. You've also been in there with Canelo. How do you see that?
Yeah, look, I didn't see the fight, but from what I'm hearing, John was starting to have success, and they say he pulled out with a hand injury, which for what was at stake, again, you never want to put yourself in their position, but for what was at stake, you'd think he'd try and see it out a little bit, and maybe if it got later in the fight and he couldn't then. But I heard him saying he'd done it round 4 and then got out the end of round 4, so he hasn't really tried to carry on and looked. There was either a world title or a chance to fight Canelo. You either fight Canelo, if you win, or if you don't, you're promoted to full world champion. So there was a lot at stake, and say fair play to John, he got the win. He done his part, he got in there, he got the win. And look, if fair play if he gets the Canelo fight. I think he deserves it. How he's paid his dues, he's been around a long time, he's had a few losses and he stuck it out. It's always nice to see. In terms of stylistically, look, I don't see him beating Canelo, but I wish him all the luck in the world. I think Canelo, obviously, coming off the loss to Bivol, he didn't look too great in the Triple G fight. Neither did Triple G. I think the fight was a bit of a letdown, but John will do everything he can in his power to get in there the best possible version of him, and I say good luck to him.
Anthony Yarde takes on Otto Beterbiev in the UK. I believe you are mandatory after that. So what's your plan? You've been inactive for a while now. Are you going to have a fight in between?
Yeah, I'd like to. Again, I've always said I want to be active. I'm at my best when I'm active, and I haven't been active enough as I'd have liked over the last few years, so I can't just afford to sit and wait. And obviously I'm guaranteed my shot. I could sit and do nothing and wait till the summer, but that's not ideal. It's not ideal preparation. I want to fight. I want to stay in the gym. I want to do a camp. So I'm speaking with my team now to try and get a fight sorted for early in the new year, and then I'll sit and wait for the winner, whoever that may be. They're fighting January, so I'll watch that, pay close attention, but I don't want to sit and wait. I want to keep fighting.
I know Eddie Hearn's spoken about when Anthony Yarde was waiting for Beterbiev. This is going back probably 6 months ago, and he said, look, fight Buatsi now. Here's £1 million. Fight Buatsi, beat Buatsi, and then get Beterbiev. So if I just spin it the other way, Buatsi's a fantastic fight for yourself, fantastic fight for the fans as well. Would you not entertain that before the winner of Beterbiev, which potentially won't happen till the summer at the earliest?
Yeah, exactly. Like I've said, I want to fight. If his team want to make me an offer, then it's an offer that I consider. As of I haven't had any offer, but it's a good fight. Buatsi's a very good fighter. We both want the same thing. We both want to become world champion. We were supposed to have a final eliminator with Pascal, which he pulled out of, but look, I'm mandatory challenger. If they want to make me an offer to come away from that plan, then let them do it. But at the moment, the plan is for me to fight for the world title in the summer. If that changes, then it changes. But as of yet, like I said, I've had no offer to fight Buatsi. At the minute, I want to fight in March, and then roll into the world title in the winter. So we'll see. I'm speaking with my team now. We'll see what options are on the table, and then I'll fight anyone. I believe I'm the best light heavyweight in the world. I believe I'd beat Beterbiev given the opportunity, so we'll see.
Just on Yarde, Beterbiev, and I'll end on this as well, Callum, but how tough of a fight is it for Yarde? We know he went against Kovalev with relatively no experience. Since then, his best win is a Lyndon Arthur rematch. He fights a fighter who's got, I think there's only 2 fighters left in boxing that have a record of knocking out all the opponents. So how tough of a fight is this, and is Yarde prepped for it?
Yeah, look, it's a tough fight on paper. Beterbiev, he's knocked everyone out. He's got 3 world titles. It's a tough task on paper, but he is 38 soon. He's yet to show signs of aging, but he will at some point. So timing could be right for Yarde. In terms of preparation, I don't know. I should say his best wins probably a Lyndon Arthur rematch he lost to previously. Maybe he could have boxed up someone kind of in the middle of world level and thing, but he hasn't. But no, he's got the experience from the Kovalev fight, which he come up short, but he boxed well and he was doing very well in that fight until the finish. So look, they're not soft. They took this opportunity probably because they believed he'd win it. And no, good luck to him. He's a good fighter. He's heavy-handed himself, and I'm sure he's seen weaknesses that he can exploit. So it's an interesting one. It's one that I watch closely. As I say, I'm going to be fighting the winner, so it's one that I will pay attention to.
Hopefully you'll be ringside.
Yeah, possibly. It depends, obviously, whether we get a fight date. I might be over in LA training with Buddy, but if I'm here, I will be there. I will go and watch, and like I say, I'll be paying close attention.
Yeah, WWE start jumping the ring afterwards.
Yeah, jumping cause a bit of commotion.
Callum, appreciate giving us a little bit of time, and hopefully we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thanks, mate. Thank you. Thanks.
Callum Smith, IFL TV, thank you very much.
Fight Live returns to Channel 5 this Friday. Two of Britain's most exciting super lightweights collide at London's legendary York Hall. Don't miss Eubank versus Farrell this Friday on Channel 5.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something. Completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.